Hello and welcome to LM Reads. I'm a researcher who loves to break down fascinating books for you. Okay, so today we're diving into a really important one, software architecture, the hard parts. This is a guide for what to do when all the easy answers just disappear. And it all boils down to one single, powerful question. You know that feeling when you're working on a really complex system and you realize that all those best practices you read about online just don't fit? That's what this book is all about. It's for when you're in uncharted territory and there's no simple Google search that's going to save you. And that really leads to the question that can keep any developer or architect up at night. If there's no single best path forward, what do? How on earth do you choose between making something faster or more secure or easier to change later when you know you can't have it all? This is the huge dilemma the book tackles head on. So to even start to understand the solution, we have to stare the problem right in the face. And for a lot of us, that problem has a name. It's the monolith, or as it's more affectionately known, the big ball of mud. Yep, that one giant, tangled-up codebase that's somehow running the entire application. The book gives us this fantastic, real-world example to look at. Just check out this diagram of their application. You can almost feel the chaos, right? You've got login, billing, ticketing, reporting. All these different jobs are just mashed together into one single unit. That means when you deploy one thing, you have to deploy everything. Oh man, and if you've ever had to work with a system like this, these points are going to hit home. Every little change feels like this high-stakes game of Jenga, where you pull one block out and you're just praying the whole tower doesn't collapse. The system is flaky, it crashes, and when it goes down, the whole show stops. Everything. So, how do we get out of this mess? Well, this brings us to the first huge aha moment in the book, and honestly, it's a total shift in how you think about solving problems in software. This right here, this is the core philosophy. Just let that sink in. Stop chasing some mythical, perfect solution. It literally doesn't exist. The book says your job as an architect isn't to find the best design, but to analyze all the compromises and engineer the combination that is the least worst for your specific situation. It's about being a realist. The book uses a great analogy. It's like designing a car. Imagine telling a car company you want a car that is the absolute fastest, the safest on the market, gets the best gas mileage, and is the cheapest. It's impossible, right? You have to pick your priorities. Do you want speed? Okay, fuel economy is going to suffer. Do you want ultimate safety? Well, the cost is going to go up. Software is exactly the same. It's a constant balancing act. Okay, great. So we've accepted that everything is a trade-off. But that just leads to another question, doesn't it? How do you actually analyze these things? How do you make a decision based on data and not just a gut feeling? Well, this brings us to the book's second brilliant idea, a way to measure the invisible forces in our systems. The authors give us this powerful concept called the architecture quantum. Now, don't let the fancy name scare you. The techie definition is on the slide, but the Lego model analogy is perfect. Just think of it as a piece of your system, like a finished Lego model that can stand completely on its own. It has everything it needs to function, and you can deploy it all by itself. And this picture makes it super clear. Take a look at the system on the left. It looks like it has multiple services, right? But look closer. They all share one single database. Because of that, they're all stuck together. You can't deploy one without affecting the others. So really, it's just one big quantum. Now, look at the right. Each service has its own data. They're truly independent. That's a system with two quanta. And so what? Why does this matter? Because by counting the quanta, you finally have a way to measure how modular your system actually is. It's like having X-ray vision. It makes those invisible connections, especially around data, totally visible, so you can see exactly where the real dependencies are hiding. Okay, time for our final aha moment. Let's bring this all home. We've got the least worst choice mindset, and we have this quantum tool to see hidden connections. So how do we use all this to finally break apart that big ball of mud we started with? So the book lays out two main strategies. The first one is probably what you're already thinking of. You act like a sculptor, carefully chipping away, extracting pieces from the original code. But the second one is kind of wild. It's called tactical forking, and it's where you act more like a cloner. You have to hear how this works. It's so counterintuitive. Instead of carefully pulling out the code you want to keep, you actually clone the entire monolith. You just make a full copy for each new service. Then you hand a copy to Team A, and they just start deleting all the code they don't need. Team B does the same. I know, it sounds nuts, but think about it. In a really messy code base, it can be way easier to just delete stuff than to try and untangle it. And this is what's so great about the book, because it brings it all back to that central theme. It never says one way is always better. Instead, it gives you the tools to analyze your specific situation, your code, your team, your goals, so that you can decide which of these strategies is the least worst choice for you. So the big question, what's the verdict? Should you read this? Look, if you want to seriously level up in your career, I think the answer is a huge yes. This book is not about learning the latest, hottest technology. It's about something way more fundamental. It actually teaches you how to think like an architect, giving you mental models and real strategies to handle complexity. At the end of the day, this book isn't a cheat sheet with all the answers. It's a toolbox. It's designed to give you the frameworks and the confidence to tackle those really hard problems. The ones you can't just find the answer to on Stack Overflow. I really hope this breakdown was helpful. It's a challenging book for sure, but I think the payoff is absolutely massive. Now I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if this makes you want to pick up the book. Thanks for tuning in.